So we've discussed why they should come and talk to you, potential clients, Austin Smith Associates. What sort of questions do you ask your clients? Because it's very important for you to know about what they want to do with their life as well as their money, and why they do what they do. That's important, isn't it?
It is, and I'd just like to tell a small story that, I mean, you're defined by your experiences. Not this last crisis, but the one before, between 2001 and 2003. I was introduced to a highly successful business lady who had sold her business right at the peak. So she'd sold her business just coming into 99, 2000, just around the dot-com boom. And then, as we know, it bust as well. I was introduced to her in the beginning of 2003 and taught me an amazing lesson, because by that time, she had lost 50% of her money. So she had sold her business for a large 7-figure sum. She'd given it to a large, well-known bank to invest, and within 3 years, she was at her wit's end. She was beginning to lose her health as well. And she said to me, well, what on earth went wrong? I was a very good business lady. I sold my business at the peak of the market. I gave it to who I thought was the best person to look after it. And it just basically turned out that the people who were looking after her money hadn't really got to know her very well, hadn't got to know her tolerances to loss. Yes, they might have looked at her attitude to risk, but you need to dive a lot deeper in terms of, well, what makes people tick. And she had lost a lot. And the other thing that it taught me was that whilst your money might recover over the next few years, your health might not, your relationships might not. And so actually our role as financial planners or as investment managers is actually very different to what's perceived. We actually have to manage people's lives and manage their goals, really.
Yeah, their expectations.
Their expectations. And this lady didn't become a client because, to be fair, there wasn't very much I could do for her. And she just stuck where she was. And as you and I know, markets go up, markets go down. She would have been back up hopefully within 3 or 4 years, although you could argue that's 3 or 4 years of wasted time.
Yes.
But would her health be the same? Would her relationships be the same? Would she ever trust anyone like me ever again? Or it wasn't me at the time, but you know what I mean. And the answer probably to those, at least 2 out of 3, is no. And so I then decided from that point onwards that if I was going to look after large chunks of people's money, we had to drastically change what we were doing. Because even though people told me that they could take a lot of risk, the reality was that when it hit, they couldn't. And so we've just worked over the years and evolved to have a process where we get to know people, ask them the right questions, and then we get no nasty surprises.